I know it's here somewhere. Finally. Oh, it's time for the doctor. You're listening to Dr. Bill, the computer curmudgeon. Take it away, Doctor.
Well, it's that time again, and the doctor is in. It's time once again for Dr. Bill, the computer curmudgeon. Yes! I'm certainly glad you could join us this week. Matter of fact, I don't know why some of you join me every week. Other than you're bored. But hey, the solution to boredom is watching this show. Yes. Well, I try not to be boring. We are proud members of the Tech Podcast Network, techpodcast.com. If it's tech, it's right here on Dr. Bill, the computer curmudgeon. Ha! And we are also proud members of the International Association of Internet Broadcasters. Yes, because we like broadcasting. That's casting nets broadly. Not really. I make things up. Yes, Fred. I know Fred knows that I make things up because he's always getting on to me for doing so. But it's fun. You gotta have fun. Geeks just wanna have fun. Just saying. Anyway. You never know what you're gonna see on Dr. Bill, the computer curmudgeon. Anyway, so we have a show for you this week, which is good because there's been a few weeks we haven't had a show. So it's good when we do. Anyway, let's go to the blog. Of course, the blog I'm speaking of, pertaining to, is drbill, drbill.tv, as it says there on the lower third. So, by the way, thank you, Fred. Fred puts those up for me. He knows all those geeky things in video and can do such things. Yes. So anyway, ransomware. Sounds odd, but it's evil, as most malware is. Ransomware demands $300 to free your computer, and of course, I'm sure they really don't. But what happens is you get infected with this stuff, and then it puts up screens. And it says, if you want your computer to be back to its glorious former self, then you must send us $300. And it apparently works because people send them the money instead of just reformatting their hard drive and starting over like any reasonable person would that's a geek. I know most people aren't geeky enough to do that. So there's where the flaw in the plan falls apart. Anyway. But it's bad. It's called CryptoLocker. This new ransomware that's making the rounds. Actually began making the rounds several months ago. However, it's really getting some press now because people are getting it more often. And that's how it usually starts. There's a small audience that gets it, and then there's more and more and more, and before too long everybody's going, dude, what's up with this stupid ransomware? So anyway, that's why I'm mentioning it. It is created using a unique RSA 2048 public key. 2048-bit public key? That's a highly encrypted key. Anyway, the decryption key is located on a secret server somewhere on the internet. A secret server somewhere on the internet. And then there's a countdown on the infected machine which will let you know how long you have until that key is no longer available to unlock it. Terrible. Just terrible. Anyway. So the lighting is odd. I'm going to adjust my lighting just a bit to favor moi rather than the background. Normally I use this light over here to highlight the background, but I'm looking a little gray, a little peckish. I know some of you are saying you always look gray. True. Okay, so let's move on. The next item is one I really like. It is a video, a very short video, 2 minutes 14 seconds. Actually, just a little less than that, because there's a lot of at the end of the video, there's a lot of black, you know, leader, as we used to call it in the old film days. Anyway, I guess it wasn't leader, because leader would be at the front, trailer at the back. Whatever. Anyway, the point is, this is celebrating the 75 years of Superman's history in just over 2 minutes of video. And you should watch it, because it's cool. And what's funny is, if you're a real Superman fan, what's really fun is looking at all the imagery as it occurs on the video and say, ooh, I know that one. Ooh, that's so-and-so. Oh, I know what that's about. Ooh, I had that comic book. You know, all that good stuff. Highly geeky. So, dude, enjoy this. It's awesome. It even has the super friends. But we'll forgive them for that. Anyway, cool stuff. Now, here's the big news. Well, more or less big news. And that is that Windows 8.1 has finally been released into the wild. Which means, if it's released into the wild, I have it in my hands. I'm pretty wild. Anyway, so the laptop here in front of me, which is my trusty Hewlett-Packard laptop. See, now I'm going to get all my wires all messed up and probably rattle your cage. I'm using the force. I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. Anyway, my laptop here in front of me is running Windows 8.1 now. It is just, and I mean just, right before I started this netcast, just been updated. And here's the thing. I said in my blog post here, I'll let you know what I think soon. Well, now is soon. Soon is now. Okay, I'm going to let you know what I think. Yeah, okay. It's not so bad. But I found a couple of things. First of all, they tried to put the start button back, but they're Microsoft. They have an evil sense of humor. They give you back the start button, and it takes you to the stupid Metro start screen. To which I'm sure the developers are going, yeah. I don't really find it all that funny. But, as I have said before, you can poke Microsoft in the eye and say, I don't care, I'm getting my start screen and my start menu back because I'm going to use an open source product called Classic Shell. There it is on the screen. Go there, classicshell.net. For those of you that are listening to the audio version of the netcast and don't see the screen, it is classicshell.net. Actually, dragging it out like that probably doesn't help, but it's just something you do, you know what I'm saying? Anyway. So, go to classicshell.net. It will not only give you back your start button, it will give you back your glorious menus. And what I like about it, too, is when I click my start button, and it brings up the little menu, which looks like a Windows 7 menu, then I not only have all my program tree, you know, I also have the newfangled Metro-y apps under the apps tree. Okay, so I don't use many of the new Metro-y apps. Okay, but if I wanted to, they're there. Cool. Now, if you're already on Windows 8, which if you're going to get Windows 8.1 right now, you would have to be already on Windows 8 because that's just the way it is right now. They're about to start. Matter of fact, by the time this airs, they're probably going to be selling it. You know, I mean, by the time you see it, you'll be going, well, dude, they already sell the ISOs. But, you know, we're right on the cusp of them releasing it that way. But right now, You have Windows 8, you go into the store, the Metro-y looking Microsoft-y store, and then you'll be confronted with a big tile that says upgrade to Windows 8.1. And you click that, and it will go through the process and reboot and reboot and reboot. Takes a while, and it tells you many things, and then it'll come up and it'll go through these colors. You'll feel like you're in the 60s. Wow, man, orange and green and blue. Yes. You know, it'd be like being in an old Batman episode. Na 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 na. You know when he did the bat dance? What's up with that? Anyway, so the psychedelic weird 60s music stuff. So you'll see that, and then it will come up, and the very last thing you'll see as it completes the upgrade is it'll go, hi. I kid you not. Big black screen, white letters, hi. And then it talks to you, and it says, I finished upgrading your computer. Aren't you happy? And, it's silly. It's quite silly. I am finishing setting up some settings. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And you're sitting there looking at it going, I'm bored. But it finally finishes, and then it takes you to your Metro-y screen, which is, of course, what they want you to move to. They keep telling you, you silly user, why don't you go ahead and move to what we want you to do? You must obey. You must do what we tell you to do. We are Microsoft. Ah. They're all Sith Lords. Dun-dun-dun. Anyway, so, you know me. I do not give in to Sith Lords. I install Classic Shell, and I'm back to the world that I want to live in. I reject your reality and substitute my own. Gives whole new meaning to the Mythbusters t-shirt. Okay. Anyway, it's out. Now, I read an article this morning that said that one of the problems with this whole scenario is that first you have to have Windows 8, right now, right as I'm speaking and recording, you have to have Windows 8, then you have to do the upgrade through the Microsoft Store, and you have to do it one computer at a time. So you can't just push it out to everybody. Now they're going to fix that, I'm sure. They're going to make that possible. But if you're a small business and you're running Windows 8 and you want to run Windows 8.1, you're going to have to do it computer by computer by computer. Now here's the thing. How many businesses are currently running Windows 8? 1, 2, maybe? Not many. So it's probably not an issue. Anyway. But the guy had a point. Cool. In the meantime, a lot of people are moving to Linux because they don't want to fool around with this Microsoft Scythery. It's Scythery, I tell you. So they're moving to Linux, which is good. Yes. Matter of fact, I got an email from a viewer of this netcast, one of my good buddies out there in the interwebs. You know who you are. His first name, I don't think he'll mind me saying this, is Lonnie. And he sent me an email that showed Ubuntu Linux running on a Nexus 10. I'm down with that. Now, it's just a preview release, okay? That is. And so I'm certainly not going to put it on my Nexus 10. I'm quite happy with my Nexus 10 just as it is. Right here. And the battery is currently dead. But I will charge it, and it will be good. Just saying. Anyway, whoops. I was leaning it against my netbook. I have an old Acer netbook down there, and I leaned it against it, and it almost fell. So I had to catch it. There's a great many strange and interesting geeky things laying around the studio within arm's reach. For instance, a Linksys router with very long antennae. This is the router that I took down from over there, he said, pointing with his antenna. Not my antenna, the router's antenna. But up there, blinking, is my new router, which this morning, by the way, talking about geeky fun projects, this morning I converted to a DD-WRT router by replacing the firmware of my TP-Link, and actually I'll even tell you the model number, if I can find it. Here it is, TL-WR1043ND. Why is it that tech people like to give their equipment weird long numbers that make no sense? Just asking. But anyway, so this is a brand new router, new in the box. I've had it running the standard, store-bought firmware for probably a couple weeks. So what does Dr. Bill do? He says, "Fooey on this, let's put an open source router firmware upgrade on it." So I did so, holding my breath, hoping not to brick it. And it didn't brick, because I'm actually on the interwebs right now using that router. Yes! Win! Okay, so anyway, you might ask, why did you replace the firmware with open source? Because I'm an open source dude. It's just the way I am. Well, Fred, you don't have to say that. I'm not crazy. I just look that way sometimes. Okay. Anyway, the point is, it's working very well, and I'm getting speeds. Oh, I'm getting such speeds. I have, as you know, I've told you this in the past, I have 30 symmetrical here at the house. Yes. Feel the power. Anyway, so with my new router configured with the DD-WRT software, I'm getting 30.2 down and 30.2 up. I'm telling you, it's just geek heaven. So anyway, there you go. So I was saying, I got off on all this because I was saying that people are moving to Linux. Well, the Navy has built a new ship called the USS Zumwalt. I don't know. I'm sure Zumwalt was some famous, important military dude that they named this after. I have no idea. You'll probably write me letters and say, "Are you kidding, Dr. Bill? You don't know about Zumwalt?" Sorry. But anyway, I'm sure he was a very nice and important dude. So the point is that they named this ship the USS Zumwalt. It is the DDG-1000. And it will put to sea later this year, but it will be different from any other ship in the Navy's fleet in many ways. The $3.5 billion ship is designed for stealth, survivability, and firepower, and it's packed with advanced technology. And at the heart of its operations is a virtual data center powered by off-the-shelf server hardware, including various flavors of Linux, and over 6 million lines of software code. Dude, the ship is running off an open source operating system. Yes! So cool! So the U.S. Navy protecting us from the evil minions of mediocrity, they have decided to create this wonderful new ship that is running Linux. Gotta love that. Now that's not the best of it though. It gets better. Guess who the first captain of this ship of advanced technology that is running Linux. Guess what the captain's name is? Are you ready? James Kirk. I kid you not. Now, it's not James Tiberius Kirk. Missed it by that much. But it is James Kirk. No, seriously. The USS Zumwalt will leave the dock captained by James Kirk. And it'll be running on Linux. I mean, is this weekend not the geekiest cool weekend ever? Dude! Whoa! Okay, Fred. Fred does, he gets to a certain point in the netcast, he says, look, I can't take it anymore. I'm going to do the Geek Software of the Week drum roll. And so he did. Well, there you go. This week's Geek Software of the Week. Again, this week is super geeky. It just is. And the reason is because this Geek Software of the Week is QGifer. Now, I know there's a big controversy, or some people would say controversy. Controversy? Controversy. Controversy. You say, Dr. Bill, you don't know how to pronounce controversy? Well, here's the issue. Some people don't know how to pronounce GIF. GIF, Graphics Information Format. The GIF extension, you heard me say GIF, right? Well, many people say GIF. They pronounce it GIF as GIF. Like gift with the T left off, just GIF. Okay? Now, I can understand that to a certain extent. However, the guy that created the format, the guy who actually is behind GIFs, says it's pronounced GIF. Yes. Like the peanut butter, J-I-F, GIF. So there. Anyway, QGifer is a program that allows you to take any video, no matter what it is, and take pieces of it and turn it into a GIF file, into a moving GIF file. You can take that one piece of video of me going and make it into a GIF file. I don't know why you would want to, but you could with this software. GIF extraction from a video file, color palette editor, variable color palette support, dithering. Have you ever dithered? Dithering, text rendering, graphics insertion, object interpolation, cropping, filtering, looping by sending reversed copy, GIF optimization through image magic, project management and translations in English, Swedish, Japanese, Polish, Russian, Czech, Chinese, and German. Yawo! So this is awesome. And it's fun, and you can make GIFs that are cool and like kitties swiping at balls of yarn. I saw an interesting thing on Google Plus. Somebody had posted, I think it was Google Plus, might have been Facebook, but I think it was Google Plus since it was real geeky. And that is that they posted a thing of a Egyptian, what do they call it? The hieroglyphics and the people that look like they're plastered on a wall sideways. You know what I'm talking about? Walk like an Egyptian. Boom, boom. Anyway, all of that stuff, they showed one of those images, and they said that the internet is like Egypt. Yes, people put stuff up on walls, and they worship cats. I like it. Okay. Anyway, so you can do your cat videos with GIF files and put them in your Facebook feed. Life is good. Okay. Moving on. Google breaks into the rare market club of those companies, there's very few, that have reached a market value of $1,000 per stock share. $1,000 per stock share? Dude. No wonder my buddy at work thinks Google's the devil and they're taking over the world. Perhaps he has a point. I don't think so. Google stock hits $1,000 for the first time ever. The giant search engine stock topped $1,000 a share on this Friday. That's yesterday as I record this. For the first time in its history, making it one of only a select few businesses, including Priceline. Priceline? Priceline? With William Shatner as their spokesperson? It just crumbles your world to think about that. But anyway, Priceline. Seaboard and Berkshire Hathaway, which of course Berkshire Hathaway, you know, is run by Warren Buffett, Bill Gates' buddy and mentor. Somehow I can see Warren Buffett as mentor and Bill Gates as Billy Batson turning into Captain Marvel. I know that takes you back a ways on the Saturday morning shows, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, cool idea. So, the company's stock had been hovering around the $900 mark in recent months, but the stock shot up to nearly 10% overnight, adding more than $25 billion to its market cap in a matter of hours, following a generally positive third quarter earnings report, which beat Wall Street estimates for earnings and revenue. Wow. Now, last item of the week is a cool one. And that is that Malwarebytes Anti-Malware, which is, by the way, is a malware remover that I highly recommend. The only thing that I caution you about, be sure you get Malwarebytes malware remover software. Listen carefully. Pay attention. From their website. Do not go to Google and type in Malwarebytes and then just hit the very first button you see. Don't do it. Don't do it. Stop. And go to malwarebytes.org. Go to their website up here on the screen. Go there and then download it and use it, and it will be good. Otherwise, you could get a version that actually inserts malware into your system. That's bad. These guys are... I'm not talking about Malwarebytes here. I'm talking about the evil scum of the earth individuals, scum of the universe individuals who write malware. They should all be flogged repeatedly with something sticky and gooey and cold. Yes. Anyway, yuck. Malwarebytes Anti-Malware has been released for mobile users. In other words, Android devices like you know, my Nexus 10, my trusty Nexus 10, and my awesome new phone, my Optimus. Whenever I say Optimus, I always think of Transformers, robots in disguise. Anyway, so yes, my phone can now be protected from malware. I already have something on here called Lookout that protects my phone from malware, and I like it. I use the free version, not the paid version. But Malwarebytes now has a free anti-malware software for your mobile devices. Dude. So get that. It says, and it's just in time. Mobile malware has increased by 614% over the past year, according to some analysts. Analyst. And that's to be expected, because the malware writers are evil. I'm telling you. So, go to Google Play at, I'm going to put this up on the screen, pay attention, http:// mwb.to. That's Malwarebytes.2. But they abbreviate it to mwb.to/mmobile. Like it says there on the lower third. Go there, and you can download it from Google Play and install it on your device. Now, you might say, what about the iPhone? I don't care about iPhones. I'm sure they'll eventually come out with the iPhone, but you know I really don't care. I'm an Android kind of guy. So remember, until next time, that the doctor is out of here.
Dr. Bill, the Computer Curmudgeon, is a production of DrBillBailey.net with all the honors, rights, and privileges thereunto appertaining.